Have you ever wondered why some people seem effortlessly magnetic even though they are not the loudest or the prettiest or the most confident in the room? Well, let me tell you something that took me 40 years to learn. Magnetic people are not the loudest, not the prettiest, not the most successful, and not even the most confident. They are the ones who have mastered the small things, the micro invisible habits that changes how people perceive them. And when I say small, I mean tiny. So tiny that most people overlook them, and then they wonder why nobody seems drawn to them, why conversations feel heavy, and why connections seem surface level. But here's the twist. When you change these 7 tiny habits, people start leaning in. They start listening harder, smiling wider, and remembering you long after the conversation is over. And trust me, I was not born with this energy. I grew into it the hard way. So today I want to share with you the 7 most underrated tiny habits that made me instantly magnetic, and I wish I knew these in my 20s. So let's get started. Habit number 1, the 2-second pause. For most of my life, I did what everybody else does. When somebody asked me a question, I answered immediately. Someone greeted me, I reacted instantly. It was fast, it was automatic, it was mindless. But then one day, a mentor told me, magnetic people don't rush into moments. They let the moment sink in and then they speak. So I tried it, a simple 2-second pause before I responded. And something wild happened. People leaned in, they focused, they listened differently. That tiny pause made me appear more thoughtful, more grounded, and more confident, even when I wasn't feeling any of those things. In psychology, this is connected to processing fluency. When you slow down, people feel safer and more attentive around you. So before you speak, pause for 2 seconds, let the moment breathe, and people will feel your presence instantly. Habit number 2, the eyes first greeting. Most of us greet people with our voices first, hi, and then eye contact. But magnetic people do it in reverse, eyes first, voice second. I learned this completely by accident. One day at work, somebody walked in the room and made eye contact with me before speaking, and I swear the whole interaction felt more sincere and warmer. Then I realized when your eyes acknowledge someone before your words do, it creates instant familiarity. You see, humans are wired for facial recognition. When your eyes land first, it sparks connection before the conversation even starts. So before you say hello, make eye contact for 1 second and then speak. It tells the other person, I see you, before I speak to you. Habit number 3, the grounded step in. Magnetic people do a subtle, powerful thing. They ground themselves right at the doorway. Plant both feet, roll your shoulders back, and take one anchored step in. Not dramatic, not center stage, just grounded. And that one intentional step signals calm confidence. In psychology, this is tied to embodied presence. When your body communicates stability, people subconsciously feel drawn to you. The amazing thing is you will feel different and more confident, and people will feel it too. Habit number 4, own the moment. Here's a habit I learned on accident as a mom, as a professional juggling deadlines, and as a woman who talked too fast when nervous. Take one deep breath before you respond to anything. This does 2 things. Number 1, it slows your pacing, makes you appear more thoughtful and confident. And number 2, it signals emotional regulation, which people subconsciously perceive as authority. In psychology, this is connected to parasympathetic overdrive. Basically, calming your body so your mind leads and not your anxiety. So before you react, inhale. Calm the space between the stimulus and the response. That moment is where magnetism lives. Habit number 5, echo and elevate. Here's what magnetic people do naturally. They echo a piece of what someone said and they elevate it 1 layer deeper. For example, when someone says, work has been stressful, you say, stressful, how? The workload or the environment? It feels like magic because it shows that you heard them. You cared enough to understand, and you're willing to create space for the truth. Psychologists call this reflective listening with depth, and it builds intimacy fast. People open up because you're showing that you see them. So take a piece of what they said, reflect on it, and then deepen it by 1 layer. Habit number 6, the soft pivot. Do you ever feel drained after a small talk, like the other person is pulling you into a topic that you don't even care about? You see, magnetic people redirect conversations gracefully. Not abruptly, not forcefully, but gently. Years ago, I was stuck in a conversation about someone's ex for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Then I tried something new. I said, I hear you. That sounds rough. Can I ask you something? What's been making you happy lately? They paused and smiled, visibly relaxed. And that's the soft pivot. a way to bring a conversation into a meaningful, positive space. So use empathy and then gently steer the conversation toward connection or positivity. Habit number 7, the invisible compliment. If you want to stand out instantly, try this. Compliment something they didn't choose, but something they are. Not, I love your shoes, but I love how thoughtful you are. I admire how calm you stayed, or you make people feel comfortable. These land deeper because they're identity-based and not appearance-based. Scientists call this character affirmations, and it activates the brain's reward pathways far more strongly than external compliments. I once told a coworker, "You have a really peaceful presence. I feel calmer around you." And she almost cried because nobody had said that to her ever before. So compliment character and not aesthetics, and people will never forget it. And here's the part that I really want you to hear. You do not need to be louder, prettier, more successful, or more extroverted to be magnetic. You just need to be present and intentional and authentic in tiny ways. You see, people feel energy. They remember how you made them feel. People connect with your presence, not your performance. And if I can learn these tiny habits in my 40s, juggling life, motherhood, a corporate job, and building a YouTube channel from scratch, trust me, you can too. See you in the next one.